Hi, everyone. This is Brian Anderson at the table along with Grant Hill and Brent Barry. Allie LaForce joins us from the sidelines. Kicks it out to Markkanen. To the inside. Collins outside. Inside. Just 5 to shoot. Kessler, no good.
We'll have a hard time shaking that one off. Perfect position, plenty of space. Just clanked it.
Grant, a big reason for Utah to be excited about the future. Their young head coach, Will Hardy.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, he's had this team competitive after trading away both Mitchell and Gobert. And I love how Hardy has developed guys like Lauri Markkanen.
For 3, Collins. Oh, clanks that one. He's 0 for 1 to start. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Will Hardy gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. We talked about star guard Trae Young, their biggest problem tonight. Coach said Young is one of the most explosive offensive guys in this league. We want to make him a volume scorer, force Trae into lower percentage looks. Should be a fascinating matchup, B.A.
And Allie, thank you for that. Now here's Young. Puts up a deep 3. And once again, off the mark by Atlanta. On offense, here's Utah. Kessler a screen. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Collins outside. It's stolen by Johnson. On the push, here comes Atlanta. Pass to Okongwu. And the call will be against John Collins. That's his first foul of the game.
That was a good call. The defense wasn't established.
Jazz on D. Searching for their first points of the game.
Showcasing his athleticism. Plays like this are why you got to be excited about Rissache's future in this league.
And Markkanen with the stuff.
With 2 hands on the rock, he powers it through.
Totally in control, protecting the ball the whole way. On the wing, Daniels. Young with it, picked up by Collins. Back to Daniels. That one doesn't drop. Some solid defense from Markkanen. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. And here's Collins for 3. Gets his second attempt to go. Now he's 1 for 2.
And sometimes Collins makes this look so effortless, as if the 3-shot is just that easy.
And for a scorer as prolific as Markkanen, he doesn't need the ball in his hands too often.
So many of his scores come off assist. So just a great sense of when to get into space and become available.
Pass to Johnson. Shot clock at 5. Young from long range. They get it back. Here's Rissache. It's guarded by Markkanen. From deep, Johnson. Kessler with a rebound. Utah leading by 3. Right side, Sexton. Shoots over Young. And the Jazz tack on 2 more.
Letting Sexton fall into that kind of rhythm, that's a disaster for the defense. They got to be better.
And Atlanta misses again. So it's Utah now. And they've been producing at a high level.
No question. They're in a nice rhythm offensively.
Collins a screen. Sexton, that's good.
This small advantage is starting to snowball.
Yeah, this team is looking to add to the lead, trying to put the other team away, and threatening here.
Now here's Young. No points yet. Pass to Rissache. To get back on track. And the layup is up and in.
And there's the ability to finish for Rissache. Nobody scares him at the rim.
to the middle. Here's Collins. Collins a screen. Shoots over Young. And there's another one for the Jazz.
Confidence there shown by John Collins. Gotta like watching him go right up for the shot.
Hawks trail by 7. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Johnson. Out of bounds. It'll go to the Jazz. Utah leading by 7. George scanning the floor. Clarkson for 3. Pure from three-point range.
Boy, I like their energy coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight, they might have checked 6. I mean, they're doing everything.
And so it's the Utah Jazz ending the quarter up 10. Their defensive efforts have paid off, effectively shutting down the opposing offense. We'll be right back after this word. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And what stands out to you from Utah in this one?
Oh, what a first quarter. You love their willingness to make the extra pass.
There's so much unselfish play out there. The coaching staff has to be.
Oh man, just
Passing it down.
Nice.
That's spectacular. A pretty good hustle. Clarkson out on the break. He can be dynamic there.
And you look at the history of the Hawks. Brent, they've won 1 NBA championship. That was back in 1958.
Yeah, B.A., tough for people in Atlanta to even recognize that because the team wasn't there in 58. They were in St. Louis, and they were led by the great Bob Pettit, who was one of the first really impressive, agile big man of his era.
Jazz leading by 12. George outside. Tries it from 19. Rebound Atlanta. And we're now about a minute into this second quarter of play. And here's LeVert for 3. The rebound by Filipowski. And here are the Jazz. 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Clarkson. Great D that time from Mann. And so it's Atlanta with it. Here's the 3. Offensive board. And he goes up strong with a one-handed jam.
Just great energy on the offensive glass. That's exactly how you cut into a lead.
Boy, a slam like that is sure to give him a spark. And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. Both teams will make substitutions. And so George will bring it up for Utah. There's a screen. Pass to Clarkson. Here's Sensabaugh. George outside. Now here's Clarkson. Got it. Good job in the low post. Clarkson's got 7.
Well, the more Clarkson plays in the pick and roll, seems like he gets confidence, and the better he becomes. Tough cover for the D.
And here's Niang. Back to Mann. And that one is stuffed right through.
And just a lack of fight right now on the defensive end.
Right? At least on that slam it was. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
You have to credit the aggressiveness offensively because that's when you make a play when you really need it.
Clarkson. It's good. And he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play opportunity. All right, guys, what do you think so far about the offensive approach for the Jazz?
They've been in rhythm from the in-between area, just keeping things simple and taking what the D gives them.
Pass to Bufkin. Utah grabs the miss.
Coach loves the execution, just not the result. That's okay. That's part of the process.
They grab their own miss. Shot's good by Sensabaugh.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Well, I know they don't have mobile devices out there for texting, so they might as well talk to one another.
Back to LeVert. An easy 2 on the layup. LeVert's gotten 4 this quarter. Well, Grant, we know non-shooting big men can clog the paint, but if they know where to move off the ball, that certainly helps.
Yeah, you know, big men who know those circle actions, like flashing to the open spot when their man gives help, they often end up with easy looks inside.
George outside. 5 on the clock. Spins. Converts after the nice spin. And the Jazz lead by 15.
And just muscling it in, George, very aggressive.
And Quinn Snyder decides to call timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. 1:58 left in the half. Young looking around. The shake. It's hauled in by Collier.
Well, he's a guy they count on to produce from the mid-range. He doesn't miss too many open looks from there.
Hawks trail by 15. Well, the Jazz are one of just 10 NBA franchises to never win a championship, Grant.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to believe considering they have the 4th best winning percentage in NBA history. Think about it. If it weren't for one Michael Jordan, they'd probably have 2 rings.
What a dunker this guy is. Collins capable of bringing this crowd out of their seats.
From deep, Johnson. They get it back. Down low. Tries again. Rizachet, no good. Utah leading by 15. Sexton with it. Johnson with the defensive effort. 51 seconds left to play in the half. That one's good, and it's Young with the assist.
And no question, Trae Young is a very special passer and playmaker on the floor.
Pass to Sexton. Here's Collier. From downtown, it's rebounded by Rizachet. On the wing, Daniels. Collins comes with a double. To the paint. Johnson with a bucket. Johnson's got 6.
Even though he's young, Daniels tends to make the right decisions with the ball in his hands.
Here's Collier. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Outside Sexton. Over Young. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And so it's Utah. They lead by 11 as the quarter comes to a close. Their key to consistency has been their dominance in the paint. They've been the more physical team. Back to the game after this break. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it's been a runaway. You know, Grant, looking at the career of Colin Sexton, he had a huge 3rd season, averaged 24 a game.
Yeah, B.A., and unfortunately, Colin hurt his knee early during his 4th year. Had season-ending surgery, but we've seen Sexton make a full comeback and just a dynamic scoring guard.
Kessler, no good.
That's the only kind of defense that's going to cut the mustard here tonight. You got to stay on top of a guy like that who can play at such a high level offensively.
Back to Johnson. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Like to see that from Trae, directing traffic, getting a good result there on the pick and roll.
For 3, Collier gets the 3 to fall. And the Jazz lead by 9.
I mean, I guess they're willing to give him that shot. They may want to rethink that strategy, though.
And Quinn Snyder decides to call timeout. I think right now he must be looking at some adjustments. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. And Young has got the ball here for Atlanta. And for those tuning in, we're about a minute into this second half. Niang, left side. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Hawks need to get one up here. From deep, Capella. Rebound, Utah. Here's the break. Here's Sexton. And the finish on the break with the slam.
When you don't get in his way, Sexton's going to get up there and throw it down.
And it's Capella with the jam.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Wow, an emphatic two-handed slam. Collins, no good. Hawks trail by 9. Niang up top. And a two-handed jam.
A Swiss Army knife talent, LeVert is very skilled at setting the table for his teammates.
To the middle. Here's Kessler. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
That's his first personal foul.
That one on Capella.
Team foul.
I don't mind that. I mean, they met him at the rim and temporarily prevented the point.
No good on the free throw. And he can't hit the second. One place Clint Capella really knows how to throw his weight around is on the glass, Brent.
Yeah, it's been a little while, BA, since Clint Capella has led the league in rebounding. And, of course, that was a little bit different offensive system. But he has the size and the instincts still to go up and get the ball off the rim or from lob passes to be effective inside.
Excellent D there from Collins. The 3, Sexton. And another miss by Utah.
Ooh, he missed an easy chance to put some points on the board. He won't get a much better look at that kind of shot again here probably tonight.
Drills it from deep. Niang's got 5 now.
No way he's going to pass that shot up. The D is way too far back and relaxed in getting out on him.
To the inside. Capella. And it's Capella with the jam.
This is anyone's game now, and they have the momentum.
Yeah, this is not the team that we saw in the first quarter right now. Way more confident out there, and the cohesion of the team is impressive.
And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. So both teams changing it up here. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Second chance effort. That one goes. Count it. Kessler's got his first basket.
Soft interior D, and they've exploited it.
Pass to Young. Here's Rizachet. Back to Young. From deep. Kessler with a rebound.
I mean, he's trying to shoot his way out of what's becoming a prolonged cold streak.
Yeah, he's got to move on, forget about this sequence here, and try to find a way to get on the board.
The 3 from Rizachet. Kept alive. The kick out to Johnson. Young from long range. Look at Young, making it look easy.
Well, if you're going to allow Trey to squeeze off a 3, he's going to squeeze hard.
Pass to Kessler. A minute 9 left in the third quarter. The offensive rebound. Just 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Johnson. On the push, here comes Atlanta. LeVert, that's good.
They fought so hard to get themselves in a position to win this game.
Well, there's an ebb and a flow. They had a hard time earlier, but now flow.
And finished off by Kessler.
A growing aspect of George's game. He's working to become a strong facilitator.
Outside Johnson. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Johnson's got 7 now in this quarter.
In a tight game, they wanted to make sure of that possession.
9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. It's scooped up. The Hawks leading. Out on his own on the break. Young from long range. And the Hawks with another 3.
Well, Trae Young's dangerous because he's got that confidence and he's ready to shoot anytime he gets it.
And that's out of bounds. Last touch by Filipowski.
Yeah, just hold for the last shot. Don't give them another possession at all.
Yeah, hopefully that's what they'll do here. It's what most teams try to execute at this time in the game.
On the wing, Daniels. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Hawks ahead. They're up by 5. After a quick break, we're coming right back with the start of the fourth quarter. Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. Jazz trail by 5. Here's George. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
And there's no question George can fill it up. For him, it's about focusing on shooting good percentages.
2 shots.
And the second free throw is good.
Just a tough miss at the line. They're down 2 baskets now.
And here's Mann. Pass to Bufkin. Now here's Niang. From the arc. The rebound by Filipowski. Inside. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Oh, what ferocity on the throwdown. I just love when he goes up with purpose.
Where was the D right there? The effort lacking big time.
There's some ways to get your coach's attention, and that draws the coaching staff's ire.
All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Atlanta?
What stood out to me was their passing. They moved the ball effortlessly and have been able to find those holes in the defense.
Both teams deciding to change it up. And that's good as he hits both shots. Here's George. Okongwu with the rebound. Atlanta leading by 4. On the wing man. Out of bounds. Hawks ball as Atlanta keeps possession.
Nice deflection there. Really trying to disrupt their offensive flow.
Yeah, appreciate the work right now on the defensive end.
And Quinn Snyder decides to call timeout. He clearly wants to talk it over and make sure everyone is focused.
Let's go.
Hey guys, well, Quinn Snyder was just reviewing the plan with the team. Coach cautioned his team against feeling comfortable. He said the moment we take our foot off the gas, they're back in it. Let's push through the finish line. Brian?
All right, Allie, thanks once again. Out to the wing. 6 to shoot. And a deep 3 from Young. They got the rebound. Back to Daniels. Pass to Young. Beyond the arc. Sinks it from distance. Young's got 9 points now in the second half.
Their strategy has been pretty simple here in the second half. Attack from 3-point range.
Maybe trying to find a little bit more space and ball movement to get guys open at the 3-point line.
And Quinn Snyder decides to call timeout, rallying his guys to make sure they all know the plan.
How about those moves?
And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half of this fourth quarter. Outside Young. It's LeVert on the wing. That one's good, and it's Young with the assist.
That's a big make for LeVert. Should help his confidence.
And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
Second personal foul.
It's going to be on Karis LeVert.
Team foul.
He took the contact and had an opportunity to drain it.
John.
And he's good on the second.
Interesting for a guy his size. Collins a guy who can score at all three levels, so an all-around offensive game.
Pass to Young. Down low. Capella. And the slam dunk by Capella.
You gotta love his unselfishness, and you know his coach does as well.
Well, not just coach, but you can see it in the teammates, the way that they look at him. They appreciate it when he shares the ball like that.
A touch under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Pass to Capella. Outside Young. Puts up a three. Utah grabs the miss. Right side, Sexton. That's good. And now he's 5 for 11 in this one.
Sexton trying to assume the leadership role. What a big hoop there.
Up top, Young. To the paint. Out of bounds. It'll be Utah's ball. Just about 3 minutes through the fourth and final quarter here. Oh, what a performance offensively.
They're really rolling at that end. Excellent game.
And he shows the focus there. Nails the tee.
He's the one person that the coaching staff and the teammates love to see at the line in a tight ball game. You can pretty much bank on these.
To tie it up. Outside for Sexton. Here's Markkanen. And they're unable to get the tying bucket there. The Hawks leading. Pass to Okongwu. Ooh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line.
There's no debate there. He got hammered.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's a 4-point ball game.
And just like that, this game is a 2-possession affair.
And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout. He is not messing around, calling them into the huddle.
I let the man call timeout, and it's been an accident. Hey man, there's still a minute left in this game, bro. Bro, I was about to quit. I'm not gonna lie to you, because this team is ass. This team is ass, but I was like, fuck it. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And Young with the block.
What a timely move from Trae Young getting there and blocking the shot.
Oh, the dunk by Okongwu.
And that was just moving the ball quickly. And he's rewarded at the end with the high percentage rate.
Yeah, the defense trying to do their best to slow him down, but when he gets room like that, you got to look out.
Johnson on the wing. Pass to Daniels. Back to Johnson. Here's Rizachet. The kick out to Young. Here's Daniels. Offline with a three. It's a race against time as they try to go on a run of their own.
Yeah, and right now the clock may be their biggest enemy. He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Yeah,
Young
that's
really
huge,
tough
bro.
to corral is he has that great spatial awareness out there.
He gets the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point ball game. Markkanen outside. From outside the arc. Okongwu with the rebound. Here's Atlanta with the ball. And Young draws the double. Pass to Johnson. And here's Okongwu. 4 on the clock. And that one's good. Young.
And there's some agility as Trae Young maneuvers to the shot he wants.
For three, Collins. And a deep three from Young. And the miss. So we see the Hawks taking the W here. It ends up being a fairly easy road win.
Those are so hard to come by. It's never easy to take a game in someone else's building.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brent Behring, Grant